Hey guys, I'm back. Today I will be unboxing for you Final Fantasy 15. This is just the Deluxe Edition, so I didn't spring for the big Square Enix exclusive collector's edition. That would have been nice, but by the time you convert US to Canadian dollars and apply shipping and everything else, it was like well over 400 bucks. So, not to say I haven't spent that much on some collector's editions in the past, but truth be told, this will be my first Final Fantasy game. So I was never really a fan of turn-based RPGs growing up. And action-adventure RPGs always I've really enjoyed. This looks really promising in that regard. Played some of the early demos, betas when you call them, Duscae and was a Platinum one? Yeah, stay away from that. But anyway, really high hopes for this. So I am going to rip into this in a minute, but I got my copy at EB Games where they have been doing, this is the second time actually, they've been doing lately these little promos, sort of soft bundles where if you buy a collector's edition item in the game, you get 50 bucks off. So they did it with Watch Dogs 2. Bought the game, you got 50 bucks off of the Wrench Jr. Watcher bot, which is pretty cool. And today, if you buy one of the Arts Kai figures, actually specifically Cloud, you get 50 bucks off of him. And so I thought, hey, you know what, why not? That's a pretty sweet deal. So I definitely snagged that. We're going to tear into this guy here. I appreciate he's not in this game, but probably the most iconic character from the Final Fantasy franchise, or at least one of them. As someone who's never played one before, I always, recognize Cloud. So really cool figure. We're gonna get into this and see how that looks. So let's do it. So first thing you might notice here is, cover art. That's kind of cool. The back as well. It's got some nice art. I'll get close-ups of those for you as well. What a lot of these toys are in collector's editions are starting to do lately, or maybe it's just me and they've been doing it for a while. The window, so you can see what you're buying, because these Arts Kai figures, they're really decent quality toys. I mean, I'm not a huge toy guy, but generally speaking, they're really sharp toy. But they're also really expensive, so it's nice to be able to have a look at what you're forking out your cash for before you do so. So the window here is a pretty nice way to do that. Oh, there's some more stuff in here on the back. Oh, okay, there's a stand. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, so box aside. Before we get to the figure here, you actually get, and maybe this is something that like all the Arts figures come with, and I'm just, this is the first one I've ever bought, so I look like a fool and don't know this. But you get a stand. Looks like some support pieces and some screws and stuff, so put everything together and display it really nicely. So that's actually a pretty cool feature. I had no idea that was going to be in there, so that's pretty cool. Get this out of the way for now. All right. So there is Cloud in his packaging. Comes with, from the back here, it looks like 4 swords. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's less. Oh, there's a bunch more in the back. There's 7, I guess, or pieces. Anyway, it's got the big Buster sword, and that's the one everyone's going to want to have him holding. So that's the coolest part there. So let's get in here. Oh, wow. That's quite the sword sheath there. Comes with awkward kind of cape-looking thing. Pretty solid little figure though. He's got some weight to him. I imagine that probably all the Arts do. But again, this is the first one I've ever bought, so definitely has a pretty solid feel to it. Lots of articulation. Paint application is really well done so far. Any of you watch some of my other videos, especially the Skylanders ones, will know that I'm pretty particular about the paint jobs on figures and toys. All right, well, he's definitely not going to stand on his own, but we'll get some close-ups of that for you. Jesus, a lot of swords in here. Yeah. He's got a whole other arm in here too, is it? That's kind of neat. The Buster. That's a pretty cool replica. Rendition, toy version, whatever. This handle is spooky. It's got a little give, so I'm a little bit apprehensive of how I'm going to set this up here. But looks like I'm going to have to change his hands out to get him to hold that anyway. So he does come with 2 alternate sets of hands. You can swap out. Looks like that third arm, or I guess an alternate arm you can swap out as well. So that's kind of cool. Your pants falling down, Jesus. Things of this magnitude. Rather the Deluxe Edition. For to get to play Arts. Why? We haven't done this in like a week and a half or something, and now I forget everything I know. So when you've got really big open world RPG type games, one thing I do also like to do is grab a copy of the handbook. So I've done that here, got myself a copy of the hardcover handbook. I mean, I know a lot of this information is in your menu and that kind of stuff in your inventory. I like to have a chance to sort of look through, explore skill trees, you know, see where my investment in my character's levels and abilities and things like that, where that's going to lead me ahead of time, so I can sort of plan my build as I'm going. Just something I like to do. You know, I appreciate a lot of this information is online and all that kind of thing too. And there's certainly nothing wrong with using that. I like to have the book handy. You know what? It's there. You can sort of follow along with it. You've got it with you. Something I really like to have as well. So oftentimes they will come with some kind of DLC, some kind of additional content. This one comes with some art, got a big poster, exclusive lithograph, but it is a nice handbook. So definitely nice to have. I know I'll get a lot of use out of this. I've done the same with like The Witcher and Fallout 4, stuff like that. I just really like to have it. I imagine there's other people that do as well. So that's the collection here. But now let's take a look inside the deluxe edition in that steelbook, and we'll see what kind of DLC we got in there. Okay, so slipcase comes off, pretty nice. I mean, it's your typical information slipcase, transparent on the front, because this actually is a really nice steelbook. And I feel like this art is actually on some kind of poster or lithograph or something like that as well. I remember seeing some of this in the lead up, but that's actually a really nice steelbook. The artwork on that's really sharp, so that'll definitely be a nice one to add to the collection. Alright, so inside here we have Deluxe Edition content. So the Masamune DLC weapon, Royal Raiment DLC costume, Raiment, I don't know, maybe it's French, doubtful. And the Leviathan Regalia skin for the vehicle, so that's pretty cool. And that's that. I don't know why that needs to be a bifold, but there you have it. We've got ad for the handbook I already bought. Joke's on you. Or me. These things aren't cheap. Okay, so that's all that is. Here we've got more stuff. Oh, okay, from the Final Fantasy team. So you just got a little thank you card. Thank you for your support. All the autographs from the dev team, which is pretty cool. The Witcher did this as well, actually. They had a little thank you card in there from the dev team. It's a nice touch, it really is. I mean, I appreciate they put a lot of work, a lot of time, heart and soul, if you will, into these games. People online, everyone can be very critical and very harsh. Sometimes we forget that there's, some real people with a real passion that put a lot of effort into this. So I appreciate that. Obviously, big thank you to the team for putting this together. This is a big game a lot of people have been waiting for, so good on you. Definitely a nice touch. Definitely a nice touch to see. Beyond that, obviously, you expect the game and the Kingsglaive Blu-ray disc as well, so you can watch the animated film. And exclusive to, I believe, EB Games and GameStop was the King's Tale, the side-scroller. So I did also get a code for that, and I'll be checking that out as well. So pretty decent package. Like I said, the real big Square Enix exclusive collector's edition would have been neat, probably a little bit more exciting to unbox. But unfortunately, just wasn't quite worth it for me. And I'm not invested enough in the series at this point. So that's all we've got. But that's it for me. As always, thank you very much for checking this out. I look forward to putting together the next one for everyone who wants to see it, and I will see you then. Thanks, guys.